You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Not an umbrella, I hope. I don't need one myself, you see. Very rugged. Good choice. Now, I suspect you had questions. Nothing like talking to pass a rainy day. Am I right? You have? And how did you like Mr. Clare? Of course, Detective. Excuse me for implying otherwise.
The RCM does not pick sides in this. I hope it doesn't come off any other way.
Of course. And I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not a corrupt verm myself. However, if you felt like discussing something, how could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person's take? It's only natural. We would only be gossiping. Oh. That's so helpful of him.
The lieutenant looks at you, and you can swear his jaw muscle is trembling. He's able to contain the anger and surprise. When I said be wacky, I didn't mean wildly, grossly irresponsible and damaging to the RCM.
Unconventional police officers sometimes lose their guns. They then go around and tell people about this, to gauge their reactions. It's all part of detecting.
Incredible. Simply incredible. And how is it going? Has this detecting produced a gun? Did he now? Well, then it should be any day now. Unless, of course, he's lying to you. Anyway, was there anything else you've heard? Weird. Oh no. One of the positive things to come from the revolution is the unhindered exchange of information, you see, even when it comes to trade secrets. Which isn't to suggest our talks constitute corporate espionage. Even if they did, it would be fine. But they don't, since you logged the money as a donation, and this is clearly just gossip between friends.
The lieutenant might have, but I don't remember you logging anything as anything, Harry.
Of course, Detective. Should something come up until then, is there anything I can help you with? I'm afraid I can't say any more until we've taken care of formal protocol. Of course. But before we do, the situation is extremely volatile. The sooner we can speak about this lynching business, the...
Whoa. In your hand, Pyrrolidon, the double rainbow of synthetic hallucinogens, rare and gritty, a product of the age of atomic power. What a funny little cap. Don't let the scary medical warnings throw you off. It's an inadequate antidote to radiation poisoning, but a potent antidote to boredom. The container is warm to the touch, or is that just the anticipation? You screw the lid open and look. A little slit on the side lets you just slurp it up, like an oyster. Come on, slurp it. What is he? Your mother? Is Kim your au pair? Slurp it. Slurp the morsel of danger joy. You suck a minuscule drop of extremely chemical-smelling liquid into your mouth. There, it seeps into your tongue. When you swallow, it's already almost all gone. It tastes like many things, all melted into one conflagration in the back of your throat. As you look around, the world slowly exists as it did before. Only now, gentle flames lick at its edges, as though it were No, of course not really. It's just this warmth. It makes you want to share your discovery with kin. Already you can tell you're going to be slurping a lot more Pyrrolidon. This stuff is going to give you insight into that little flickering light hidden in all human beings.
In the bottom right corner of the screen, there's a Pyrrolidon button. It gives +1 to psyche skills. Empathy, suggestion, authority, inland empire, esprit.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? I'm afraid I can't say any more until we've taken care of formal protocol.
Feelings will guide the way.
I assure you, it is no small matter for me either. We all share the responsibility for disarming this situation. I hope you have a badge for me as soon as possible.
She's silent. The wind flaps the sail above her.
Officer. You know, I don't mean to sound cold, but if you want something, you have to give something back. More than just guilt.
You're doing it. Despite your own best efforts, you're still getting in. Somehow.
I'll be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able... The Union is conducting drug trade out of the harbor. It's an open secret in Martinez. Surely it must not come as a complete surprise to the RCM either. Perhaps it's time to look into it. Or you can find your badge, which honestly seems like...
Detective, a word in private before we continue. This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective. Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchmen. This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser.
He doesn't let it show, but there is a limit to how much the consequences of your unprofessional behavior can cost the investigation. Maybe this is all her plan. She might have heard about you.
No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we are siding with the Union, or that we are on their take. We'd never hear the end of it. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done and demand for her information on the lynching. I wouldn't go that far. Her reaction did come off as sincere to me. I think she's just quick to adapt. She's a professional, after all. Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is large and you're back.
The situation might have changed drastically by the time...
You could request a new one from the station, but that would literally take months. I'm sure you will, Detective.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Of course. Of course. How...
Don't tell her you've met Everard right away. There's time.
More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
"6 kilometers southwest, in the Valley of Dogs, Junior Officer Chad Tilbrook takes aim at a rabid black dog licking its wounds in the grass. To his left, his partner, Emil Mullins, whispers, 'You heard what happened to Tequila Sunset in Martinez?' 'Yes, he lost his mind,' Tilbrook answers, fingers on the trigger. 'Don't worry, Emil.' He pulls it out slowly. Slowly now. We always do.
You? You're an officer of the RCM. Preciso mundo. Nothing more nor less than the de facto law enforcement body of post-revolutionary Revachol.
Yes, we are the Revachol Citizens Militia.
Yes, that means not de jure. The RCM acts in what is poetically called the twilight of international law, both at the behest of the coalition government and the RCM's responsibilities are defined by the Emergency, Wayfarer and Aliments Acts, 3 pieces of legislation keeping the city in a, let's be honest.
All 3 are good to know when we are out policing.
There's nothing basic about your role, Detective. It's true that the RCM keeps everything the way up. Yet, on the other hand, I know these people. I deal with them daily. The post-revolutionary decade was a disaster for the coalition government. Revachol in the 20s was hell, especially on the west side of the river. Gang warfare, a botched privatization scheme, a nuclear pile meltdown. They called it the International Zone because no nation wanted to claim responsibility. The RCM restored peace where the coalition failed. A true blue citizens' initiative. They will never forgive you.
That's somewhat of an exaggeration. In reality, Revacholians get to keep the peace in Revachol, and the coalition doesn't have to worry about it.
Yes, Lieutenant. Permit me to conclude with this. Who you are, to me, is the police. The only legitimate law enforcement authority in Revachol. And if those authorities drink so hard they need help recalling the basic terms of reality, well, I'm here to help. Nothing more nor less than the...
Yes, we are the Revachol citizens. We are.
Yes, that means not. Permit me to conclude with this. And if those authorities drink so hard they need help recalling the basic terms of reality, well, I am here to help. Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else? It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samar and Isola into Revachol with the Union's blessing.
Ingredients for what?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff. Yes, after they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jamrock Quarter.
Wildpine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am. Do you mean to say the Union also produces the product? Sells drugs, I mean?
We're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no. As far as the company knows, the Union does not produce it. They transport the ingredients for a cut. Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dockworkers Union. Still.
The handoff. The motor lorries at the roundabout.
Unlikely, officer. I'm talking about the lorries. Once the ingredients reach Jamrock, they're Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share...
Uncovering Union secrets could also give you an upper hand when dealing with them.
How do you think they're financing this strike? There are thousands of unpaid dock workers going...
There was a shakedown of local businesses preceding the strike. Many were squeezed to bankruptcy to fund it.
With all due respect to these desert cacti, the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for 2,000 men. The local businesses can scarcely provide for themselves. Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely, then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to find one driver.
It sounds like she tried looking into it herself, though she's clearly not the type your typical lorryman would confide in.
We did. On more than one occasion. Apparently, there's some sort of
We know the company has launched its own probe into the Union's alleged involvement. We also know it's come up and...
Well, here's your chance, officers. No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The road company is a partner of one of our subsidiaries. This is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the Trade Committee, they'll have no choice but to lower the drawbridge, and the operation will continue. thousands of liters of raw ingredients will pour onto the streets of Revachol, not the east across...
Well, at least this solves one mystery.
What is that, Lieutenant?
Why I had to call East Motortrack and beg them to open a drawbridge for me. I'd wondered since I first drove in, on my motor carriage.
I am sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kisaragi, but we need them trapped here. This is a unique opportunity. I'm sure you understand. The two might even be...
Or not. Though, if you have evidence...
As eager as I am to share it, Lieutenant, once the job is done. Yes? Excellent. According to my reports, there are at least 3 lorry drivers lingering near the roundabout. It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I can keep the drawbridge up for a few more days at least. You should have the time you need. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance.
Advanced race theory. Everything is calm in the eye of the race storm. Your mind is lucid and bright. The mind-bending phylogenetics appear more distant and, to be fair, a little ridiculous. The great race mystery has cleared up. All that's left to do is verbalize your thoughts. Go and talk to Measurehead about your newly found insights.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural? Ooh, not only have you found my address, you've discovered my biggest secret. I'm a coal miner. It doesn't have to do anything at all. Nothing does. Like me. Right now, I'm doing nothing at all. Does anyone in a city like this? Yes, I keep hoping a shaft will collapse on me, but somehow it never happens. Shoot, Piggy. It's what you do, isn't it? What do I care about some fucking tin eggshells? Ugh, alright, sad piggy. I'll give you this one. I saw a little girl in the fishing village running around with military-grade handwear. Looked cute as hell. If you haven't been there, the village is a shithole down the coast from the main plaza. Have a good time! No. That's all the snitching Cindy the Skull does for today. Actually, I have a weakness for animals. It's the animal thing again. Damn it.
Or a weakness for police officers, miss. Thank you either way.
Give me a moment. Ask away, policeman. The hell am I supposed to know? Another nut job, I assume. Some lunatic lost his mind. All kinds of morons pass through these halls. People come and go. I don't keep it.
They probably just moved or died, hopefully somewhere else.
No one lives there. It's been empty for months. Impossible. I would know if someone had moved in there. Maybe it's those countercultural people again, breaking into a house like it's a public space. You're a policeman. Be good and take a look, will you? Great. Young people. They're worse than rats. You know, always littering the hallways with trinkets and Oh, that one is a scientist. I think he studies astrology at the community college. Education's good. I always tell them to study. Something to do with all those stars around his door. He asked me to leave his drawings up on the wall. That's what I said. Astrology.
The lieutenant shakes his head. Come on, people. Try to keep up any standards here. It's not about stars. It's... She mumbles some kind of a response, then hacks something. You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture.
Excuse me? Of course not.
There's no sweet talking your way in there. You have plenty of reason to enter.
Oh, come on.
That was smart.
Satisfied? My name is Marielle Charpentier, and I'm an agent with Martinez Realty Associates. I am not breaking in as I...
Boy, there are a lot of different keys there.
Do you want to see my ID as well? You can't legally ask for it, but why not? Want to see my residence permit too?
It feels flimsy in hand, with the words Revachol Zone of Control. Be friendly.
Thank you. Do you have any questions? I need to be back in Midtown in an hour. I need to get it ready for the next lease, but as you can see, the previous tenant completely trashed the place. It was some kind of a moribund old man who used to be a business owner. You'd think they'd make rent.
A sudden serious look crosses her face. This story didn't have a happy ending.
But that was months ago. Anyway, was there anything you wanted, or is that it? I'm in a hurry. Oh, that's another huge mess. The former tenant owes us 3 months of rent. And again, I have no idea how stupid mistakes like this can even happen. But Ron, when he... A hole in the wall. Can you believe it? And then the tenant ran off with his stuff. He's gone. The money's gone. Just like that.
The sum must have been puny.
These apartments are perfectly fine. They have gorgeous architecture, a million-real view of the bay. I'll tell you, Martinez has a future. In a few years, it's going to blossom with artists and creatives and those radio computer wizards. Well, it does not disappear from my hands. No, I don't let it. Don't ask me what happened with the wall. I have both apartments are now unrentable. Both. Of course.
The luxury of fine things. Just look at those black monk straps. After spending an entire day hustling, who's to say that you didn't deserve a pair of ridiculously expensive shoes on your tired feet? Beautiful things give you a rush. It's power. Crafting your style, draping your flesh in silk and leather. Remember, when they come to take it away from you, you worked for those shoes. Whether you like it or not, wearing these shoes has made... Master Investigator, you just can't keep yourself away from locked and hidden places, can you? Attaboy, the world's secrets were made for you. They wait patiently for you to uncover.
Give me a moment. I see. I hope some good people are finally going to move in. This place needs them. Yes, well...
Your statements are too vague to comment on.
Give me a moment.
plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged man with impressive sideburns. The name on the plinth reads, Kraz.
I suspect that's exactly what they are trying. There aren't many communists around. Not after the revolution. Some youth still keep the ideology going, it seems. He was definitely controversial. The tenant here seems to like him. There aren't many communists around. Not after the revolution. Some youth still...
Still here, stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up? Ah, man, me and narcotics go way back. But those days are behind me. There are other addictions.
Just be straight with him.
We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the harbor to load it on their lorry and drive it to Jamrock.
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed toward a conflagration. Gotta guard the stuff. Bosses don't look kindly on missing cargo, and it gives me time to work on my rhymes.
A rhymesmith? This is quite credible. It goes with...
Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find another man to probe with those questions.
We wouldn't say he's lying, sire.
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let any... You know where that shit comes from? Sarah Miriza, Safre, Ilmara. They take the money from our local junkies here and then use it to outcompete us in the manufacturing sector. They know they can't beat us in a fair fight, so they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage, racial economic sabotage.
He eyes you warily, unsure how to respond. This goes on for about 2 seconds. Then...
I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kips sneaking around at night.
There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved this country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Wheeling in Rags when some Kip boys smashed his lock and took damn near everything. Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to.
If they were getting drunk inside the Whirling in Rags, how could they know who broke into the lorry?
It's a fucking travesty, is what it is. Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang, that beady-eyed South Samaran. His little side business is a scam. I wouldn't be surprised if he was peddling drugs as well. Of course he's a lorry driver. What? He tell you he's just some simple businessman or some shit? He's selling his employer stuff after he broke the seals on his Humanox lorry. His tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood. He's your man, all right. 100%.
I wouldn't be so sure about it. Not until we've heard what Sealang himself has to say.
Guess so.
Right to work! Right to...
Wiretapping, telescopic batons, futuristic circuit bending to infiltrate harbor machinery. Maybe you could even knock that Kowalson crane over using some remote... The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing? That's so. I haven't heard anything about that. But if that's true, well, he was an enemy combatant. He was an agent of the opposition, attempting to undermine our honorable effort. I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me. Large organizations like our union have also...
He believes the Hardy Boys could have done it.
Understood. This has been of limited use.
No problem. I wish the best to you in your search. Sure, I'm glad it's not my search. We're negotiating our share. Aye. This stuff, they already covered. It's not enough. Not enough to get ahead. More about keeping us in our plate.
The man whispers a jaunty tune.
The unpromising race pupil and... Look, babe. The rich man has humiliated and emasculated this couple. He can only think in base materialist categories and feminine abstractions like money.
Rich man really fucked him over, Jean.
His rage is already played out on the stage of history as the grotesque tragedy of revolution. You could have used this opportunity to overcome your narrow, Al-Ghul-ravaged identity. Instead of unlocking the race enigma, take solace from the fact that these thoughts will never entirely leave your brain. They will be with you on the day.
Damn, Jean. How are you so romantic?
Racists are generally not very good examples of them. I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently draw a phrenologic grid on my skull and features. Correct. There is nothing funky about them. I cannot possibly imagine what else.
I think this racist is better than the last. But the next racist will be...
That will be the...
He will grant us 3 wishes.
Your pedomorphic friend has quick wits.
The lieutenant doesn't.
You should keep him close. The congenital defect of farsightedness does not render him a complete invalid. I am not the first line.
You pick up on something artificial in his tone. Like he's put in a...
Fine. They have... Find out for yourself.
Interesting.
Lorry stuck in the traffic jam. The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin with...
Likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is. Drapes it all over his machine.
The back end of the cabin has a small perch to sleep.
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not unusual in this part of town.
The driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar... The woman still has her...
If you want her attention, you may need to be more forceful.
Where am I? Who are you? Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam in the 50s. The men have small jaws and everything is made out of plastic. Why do you need plastic when you can make the world out of amber? Back in Mecca, during the time of the revolution, the side walls and cafes are filled with a until you came along, that is. This is Gabriel Buenguerro.
A strikingly handsome man looks straight at you, his head crowned with a wide brim hat. This man's got a hold over her, even...
He was the biggest star of his day. Girls used to faint in the aisles of cinema whenever he came on the screen. And schoolboys used to memorize all his lines. Someone was...
They are someone's memories, boy. What difference? They're beautiful. That is all that matters. Beautiful and true. And they will win.
All of what? The world? The present?
I wasn't dreaming. I was there, Loman. It was early spring, and the man behind the black sun, while you, people, were tearing each other apart over your petty little revolution. In Meth, it was a golden age. Why not, Harife? It's not like I have anything better to do in this hellhole.
There's something off about this woman. Tell her to show you the soles of her boots. Maybe she was at the hanging somehow.
Diamonds? Of course not. But wouldn't it be whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine? I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago. Besides, I don't drive the lorry for the cargo, if you know what I mean. Of course it does. What did you expect? Diamonds? Of course not. Whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine. I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago. But then it's contraband, Loman. What?
Bad hand. Hermenegildos' bad hand. Strangled 300.
Of course not. To truly understand the Boyadero, you need to listen to... It's an old ballad about a young girl who falls in love with a daring Boyadero. He promises to marry her as soon as he returns from the Western Plain. Of course not. The Boyadero returns from the Western Plain a changed man. One night...
In the background, you can hear the orchestra swell as the screen fills with the maiden's imploring eye.
So the Boyadero strangles his beloved and throws her body in the Magritte. Then he rides off, because the Western Plain is calling to him. You have to understand. A true Boyadero needs a whole horizon to himself. He can't be tied down by man or woman. His beloved was selfish. She didn't know what it meant to love a Boyadero.
She's just a distracted old woman. We should maybe let her get back to it.
So he doesn't think she's a smuggler.
You hear that, Loman? I don't think your partner likes you spending too much time with me.
Nothing. I just don't think she's connected.
He doesn't want your frail mind caught up in something here. Something unconnected to the case. But connected to this woman tuning out like that.
Oh, don't worry about me. I'm one of the best camioners around. I drive routes, Lomonosov's Land, Udashnayas, the Transcatolia Magistral. You for 1A. Adestradas do Mirador. All the good ones. The deep trenches. Where the bluebirds fly. Irmao. I already am dust. What do I need drugs for, Loman? What I see, what I feel. The great adversary. No drugs can compare. If you don't know...
Maybe if she thought you're corrupt.
Who the fuck is Irrat? Ah, and what do I care about the union boss? He's no Gabriel. He's no Franco Negro. He's not even Hermenegildo the Hound. Good. I don't care about drugs. Little molecules, they are nothing. Now what do you want with an old woman's boot, Sheriff? Please? I think you should let me get back to Gabriel Buenguerro. You are no Gabriel. Gabriel doesn't...
She's wearing sturdy worker's boots made of black leather.
Just before Gabriel, it was the coronation of Franco Negro. Now, there was a real man.
Moreover, the boots were size 37. Tiny. There are too many discrepancies in all this.
It was. And then it was no more. And I was no longer holding my father's hand. Perhaps it was another Jerife who came and woke me up, looking at my boot.
As she says Carnival, she gestures to the empty square with the statue and the machines.
I could have told you that from just looking at them. A size 30.
The feet of a little girl, they fit well on the pedals. Yes, go. Enough jamboree.
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic. The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, 1 bottle equals 10 cents.
No. You need tear to use.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles.
Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something.
Everything's still cool here, officer. Drugs? I don't go in for that. Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are excellent. Mwah! Tasty, tasty drugs. That's so cool. You investigating the local drug trade like some cool narc? But I am not a lorry.
A blatant lie, sire. Yet he tells it with such conviction. We'd believe him if we didn't know better.
Who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him. He has an agenda against me because I'm an immigrant.
So you admit you're a lorry driver?
No, I just said I work harder and he's an...
Realizing he can't get out of it. Smart man.
Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. This is my dream. Nothing. I told you. I'm not a dumb guy. I don't get involved with that.
And what crowd?
Crowd. You know, the drug crowd. Shush, please. There's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please.
Here we go. There's a tiny bit of truth on the table. Zoom in on it.
It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her.
Interesting. Could this driver be connected to the Hardy Boys?
I don't know. Maybe. If she is, I haven't gone near her.
It could be. She was strange.
All of them. I don't know. I told you all I know.
Who exactly is talking about this lady driver of yours? The racist or the other one with the tattoos?
All of them. Even the ones who've left. I don't hang out with them. I don't remember who has tattoos. I don't know. I'm not local. I don't know anything about that. All right. I scored. Let's cap this off with a purchase. You can walk away from here with funky sunglasses, detectives. Both of you. You deserve it.
Hi, Ace Detective. Are you here for more books? Math. It's really difficult. Like, really. They say you need it to get rich. Better than standing outside in the cold, I guess. Oh, I found something while you were away. I thought this would fit you. Like, thanks for helping out. Not me. The city, I mean. Like a detective does. Just what Dick Mullen would ask. I got it from behind the curtains. I'm not really supposed to go there. Maybe. It's the hat Dick Mullen wears all the time. He'll look way more serious. Right, I have to get back to my homework now, before Mum notices. Man, this is hard.
Everything's still cool here, officer.
No need to dress this one up. Just tell him what you want.
Oh, okay. But why, officer? Ah, yes.
Are you trying to ask for a bribe? If so, you're not the...
Sorry, detective.
A cockatoo is a parrot with an erectile crest. This book talks about the delicate nature of twos, as well as introducing some.
Still here, stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up? I don't want to talk about that. Man, I was hoping it isn't going to be her. All I can say is, she isn't around here anymore. She isn't some evil drug trafficker. And I don't know where she is. Thank God I don't know. People here call her the Lady Driver. She kept her name a secret. From me, too. Now I see why. I didn't, man. I told you I was hoping.
It's true. We would have caught a lie. But a kind heart is tricky.
A youngish woman. Gruff.
What color hair?
Blue and violet. Died. It was violet when she got here. Blue before she went.
Then she may have dyed it again.
Damn, I don't want to. Please just let it go. Whatever she did.
We can't just let it go.
That's how it always is with you, isn't it? All part of the investigation. The girl's troubled. If you hunt her down, she may not.
It won't come to that. We won't pursue her on this.
I don't believe you. She's got the darkness in her. That young person's darkness when you think it's all over. And you're looking for a way out.
She shared this with you?
Yes. Which is why I don't want to snitch on her. It's snitching, man. I know what it is. I heard the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. And she told me, too, that she's had a violent life. But I wasn't afraid of her.
Did this violent life include drug?
Well, it looks like it did now. But we didn't talk about that. We talked about life, you know? She talked about her mind. The way it worked. The trouble.
The pain it was causing her.
Fuck, man. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay? There are plenty of drivers here who couldn't.
He's right. There are other options. The raceman. The grey-haired woman. Maybe she knows something.
I thought you were a different kind of cop. Here.
The keys to a motor lorry. Pretty complex.
Her lorry's still here. Down past the statue of Philippe. The cabin is green. You can get in there with these. That's all I know.
When did she leave?
Last Friday. No, I don't know. She left them to me. Because she trusted me.
The other drivers would have to tow it or break in to get the machines moving.
If they break in, they would find what's hidden inside. Something incriminating.
I bet you are. Nah, I need to think my own thoughts now. Pray forgiveness for my sins. Oh, look. It's the cop who turned me into a bad person.
Looking for something, Hunt? Come.
This screen found, A to Z, Contemporaire, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
This is the one our man pointed to.
The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out the shape of the seat, and the door is locked. The handle looks shiny, like there's no picking this lock. The owner has put special care into it. You push the key into the lock and turn. It makes the smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and these are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films. One of them particularly catches your eye. A centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat. The actress is draped in a sheath dress, one of her shoulders bared. This is Tijon, a starlet from the dawn of cinematography, less known for her talent than her tragic. She wasted away in a drug den called The Door to the River, not far from here on Boogie Street, a mixture of cocaine and morphine. She was afraid of the world and the camera. The actress is draped. This is She wasted away. The actresses and the rear actor all smile you a warm goodbye. Looks like the frequency dial is absent.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be.
It has to be an advanced model to fit so many frequencies next to each other without blending them together.
Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without the dial key. For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and UKV. Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerves...
A 20-kilometer radius at least. Perhaps extended by an attachable antenna that's not here right now.
No, that's on 78.9. What? I happen to have committed the frequency to memory. I have no problem admitting that.
The smell of 1,000... You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, but one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper adds extra grip.
Sandpaper? A novel technique? Yes?
Do the honors, he thinks. Connect it to yourself.
Which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching. Now we know for certain who is the missing 8th person at the lynching. Do you think that Hardy and his boys could also be involved in the drug operation? You're right. But we should still go and see what Titus has got to say on the matter. Are we finished with the lorry?
The movie stars are still smiling from the walls. A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper. It's an issue of Périphérique from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages. It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the ELYSIUM frequency system. These formulas look oddly painful. Maybe it's the hangover.
The ELYSIUM frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. The rest, you close the rusty old lorry door.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return to Joyce?
Indirect modes of taxation. Turns out, those Financial Oversight Committee gangsters stuffed millions of hard-earned dividends away in the last place anyone thought to look. The hearts and minds of everyday Rivasholians. You need to spread that deregulation.
All right, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep. Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net.
This means it's well funded. Technology like that, a major player must be financing it.
I'm not sure what the ELYSIUM frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way. And last but not least, it looks like the Hardy Boys knew this driver, as we know that she was present at the lynching.
The probe and the case converged, he thinks. This was quite the find.
As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade. Yes, well...
Unimportant.
Like Joyce told us, yes, logistically. But don't expect to bust this open during our stay here. At best, this is an angle we can use against them, to other ends, as extra ammunition. We should return to the murder case, see what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we are done here. The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome. All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either. Debrief over. After you.